start thinking about it.
That's a good friend.
Talk.
Because if I was somebody like, hey man, you should wait for me, I'd be stop playing. That's a good friend.
Well, that was my initial reaction. I'm like, it was very much some reluctance at the beginning on doing it, and even, there was an incumbent in the seat that could run for the seat, and in American politics, incumbents win like 80% of the time, so it wasn't like an easy thing. It was much later that I knew I was going to come back and run for mayor. It was I was in law school. I was actually planning on going and practicing law in either LA or Chicago, and I was always watching the city, so I was watching the city. Really wasn't going in the direction that I liked. You know what I mean? I talked to some friends about it. Spent quite a bit of time my first year of law school coming back home and visiting.
What's it?
Like being young and being in office?
I'm saying just being in office, period. Does it? Did you ever see that side by side picture
of Barack? When you 8 years apart. Yeah, man, it's real. The struggle can be real. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I see that.
You ain't lying. You are not lying. I was set with Gail Benson like 2 weeks ago, the owner for the Saints.
Yeah.
And telling about how the fan base in North Louisiana is growing and how, if there's any opportunity for us to partner and, them coming up and do a spring game and any of the other stuff, like, please do.
My name's Matthew Craig. We're here with the City of Shreveport's Mayor, Adrian Perkins. We're on Hourly News and we're having a conversation. How you doing, man?
Good, man. What's going on?
Doing pretty good. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Happy to be here.
That's good. I'm glad to have you.
Yeah.
I just want to start off with a basic question. Can you just introduce yourself?
Yeah, so Adrian Perkins, 33 years old and mayor of Shreveport.
How does it feel to be a mayor of such a major city in the Louisiana area at such a young age?
Man, it's an incredible feeling. A lot of responsibility, but for the fact that this is my hometown, that's where my family lives, where my friends are, it's even more. It's kind of indescribable, man. So just wake up every morning just trying to do the best that I can with it.
And what you think brought you to this point of being a mayor? Like, is it something you learned early or something you learned late in your career?
No, man, this is a decision. A lot of people say, I've been thinking about this for a while, probably because of my resume, but it was something that I decided in law school, maybe a year or so before, I made my announcement. I started to think about it. Some friends from here began to talk to me about it. But no, I think, the leadership in me started at an early age and watching my mom. Look at my life. I actually came back to Shreveport my third year of law school. I was spending about 3 weeks in Shreveport and about 1 week at law school. So a lot of my 3L year, my last year of law school, I was kind of surveying the landscape and actually started working my second semester on running for mayor. Started the campaign my second semester.
Okay, and I can't let you go without knowing, are you a sports fan?
Man. I'm a huge sports fan, man. Yeah, I love sports. I grew up playing sports. As a matter of fact, a lot of opportunities and doors that opened up for me was because of sports. I played football and ran in the running club at Arthur Circle Elementary, played football and on the track team at Uri Drive, and same thing at Shreve, man. Was captain of the track team, lettered in varsity football and basketball. So, yeah, man, I'm a huge sports fan. I didn't just play it, but yeah.
What did you run?
So I ran the 800 meters, I ran the 400 meters, pretty much anywhere they put me. So I was all state in the 800 meters, though, growing up. So big track fan. But as far as sports teams, man, when I was younger playing football, I wanted to play. And it's crazy because everybody here are Dallas Cowboys fans, but I've been Saints fan for a long time. So, dreamed of playing for the Saints one day or being in the NBA. And I grew up a Bulls fan. I'm being honest with you. We didn't have the Pelicans when I was younger. So I grew up a Michael Jordan Bulls fan. But, yeah, big fan of sports.
Since you brought him up, I got to talk on it. Michael Jordan.
Okay.
LeBron James. Is it a debate or it's not even a debate for you?
Man, it's crazy. It's not really a debate for me, and I love Mike. I absolutely love Mike, man, but LeBron's just better. Like, it's just LeBron is just better, man. It always goes to who got the most rings, but nah, man, look at the numbers. You look at the impact on the NBA. LeBron is just better to me.
That's surprising. I was sure you were going to say Mike was better. He got 6 rings. He did this. And especially when Mike brought up that Kobe got 5, so he's better than LeBron. So that kind of caught me off guard. And just to stay on, bring it back to track, I actually ran the 800 and the 400 when I was in high school also.
Oh, man, that's hard.
Yeah, 4x4.
Yep, you did that too, man.
And so you're a current Saints fan now?
Yeah, huge Saints fan right now. As a matter of fact, 2 weeks ago, I was with the owner of the Saints, Ms. Benson, trying to create some opportunities for the Saints to come up and do some summer league games or do a little training camp here in Shreveport. and I'm gonna continue to work on that, man, until I get them here. Sorry, Cowboys fans. Sports here in Shreveport are so important. You know, this weekend we had Battle of the Border here, and we had teams come from Georgia. You had state championship teams from Arkansas. You had, Catholic here. You had John Curtis here, right here in Shreveport. So it starts early. You know what I mean? That heavy competition starts early. So it's not a surprise to me that we got, athletes like Trey and Greedy and everybody coming out of Shreveport, man. We made for it.
Yeah. So for your next 12 months, what you feel like be your plan for the city of Shreveport?
Yeah, so been in office for 8 months, and now we're towards the end of the year, and I'm really heavily focused on finances, our fiscal health. So right now we're not only trying to make sure our budget is put together for the fiscal year 2020, but we're also proposing a general obligation bond. So I'm looking at books and numbers like continuously. So once we get out of this season, I'm hoping that this general obligation bond will pass, and I'm hoping that we'll actually balance the budget, and it'll be the first time we've truly balanced the budget in quite some time here in Shreveport. And going into early next year, I actually want to get into some reform about the internal policies of the city government, try to make things a little bit more efficient. Meanwhile, focusing on economic development, trying to grow our smaller and mid-sized businesses here locally and attract some bigger businesses too. That's always what you gotta do in this job. People will say, hey, you should focus on this or you should focus on this, and honestly, man, you gotta be ambidextrous. You gotta be able to do multiple things at once. So really just trying to make our economy healthier overall over the next 12 months.
I grew up here, went to middle school here as far as I went. Just the public school. What's your plans with public school in the city?
My plans with public schools, and I got to tell everybody this, so that's a great question because I get asked all the time. It's to continue using my very soft power, my influence, to make public schools as best as they can be. I have no official power over our public schools. Okay. Superintendent Gorey and the Cattle Parish School Board, they run all the public schools here, but we have a ton of partnerships. As a matter of fact, this year we got on a bus and delivered school supplies, uniforms, and a whole bunch of stuff to various schools, the Title I schools in our community. So we have a very close working relationship. I'm always talking to Superintendent Gorey about our economy and how we can better fit our high school students to match up with our economy, and not just the economy for today, but the one for the future as well. So I continue just, again, working my magic, working alongside Superintendent Gorey and setting our kids up for success.
The thing that I seen was that you went door to door with the Shreveport police, introducing them to the community, knocking on doors, shaking hands. Like, what's your plans with the Shreveport police? You feel like the relationship is not good, or you feel like it could be a better relationship?
Yeah, so my plans with the Shreveport police, you're absolutely right. Early on, we did a whole bunch of social media campaigns showing myself alongside the Shreveport police, knocking on doors, talking to citizens, because I did want to improve with citizen relations. Public safety was a top priority for me in my campaign, and it remains that way. But we will not get the best public safety we can get unless the police officers are tied in with the community. They ain't just showing up to arrest people or pull people over for tickets. They actually got to know the community that they're serving. So yeah, early on we did that, but just know we've still done that. The cameras might have went away, but we do it on a pretty regularly basis. As a matter of fact, we were out in the Anderson Island neighborhood a couple weeks ago. We go to Queensboro, just about every neighborhood we've been in, and we're going to continue to do that because the police officers and our citizens have to work together if we want the safest city that we can think of.
You spoke a lot about the next 12 months, what you have planned for the city. Just and you spoke on this also, can you just explain to me about the bond proposal that we have coming up in the city?
Yeah, so the bond, though, just to go into some more details, the bond will be broken down into 3 propositions for citizens to vote on November 16th. One proposition will be for our water and sewer system. The other proposition will be for public safety. A bunch of our, police and fire components and capital projects will be in there. A new headquarters for the police station, for instance. And the last proposition will be road repairs. So we'll be able to go in and repair a lot of our roads that are out there and other kind of engineering projects. So it'll be 3 propositions, and each citizen can vote on each. I am hoping that we get every single proposition passed. It's very much for the benefit of our city in the future.
You spoke on how important this bond proposal is, and we don't want no one to miss the election or to vote for it. I'm sorry. So when exactly is this vote?
The vote for the bond will be on November 16th, and I need every single citizen to get out there and support it. You got a friend, you got a cousin, you got anybody, get out there and support this bond. It's truly a reinvestment into our city. I told a story at City Council about the bond, but I grew up in Cedar Grove, And we used to play the game curb. I don't know if you remember it, but we didn't have no curbs on the street that I was growing up on, so we had to go a couple streets over to play it. So those type of road projects. Right now, I'm just thinking about one Zeke Street over in Stoner Hill area. Kids have to walk along the road without a sidewalk coming home from school and stuff. So those type of road projects will not only improve our quality of life so our roads ain't bumpy or crazy, but it also improves public safety for our kids and also improves quality of life for our kids that got to play curb. So, it's November 16th. I need everybody to get out there.
You've been awarded the Tillman Impact Award alongside the late Senator John McCain. Can you tell me about that award?
Yeah, so the Tillman Impact Award is given out annually, and it's given out to two people. One that just exudes that type of Pat Tillman leadership on a national level, and then another one goes to a scholar. So I'm a Pat Tillman scholar. I was awarded the Pat Tillman Scholarship in 2015 scholar. And they award those scholarships to military veterans that are trying to get higher education primarily, and sometimes even if they're going for an undergraduate degree, that they think can best live in Pat Tillman's legacy. Going to Pat Tillman a little bit, man, he was an Arizona Cardinal. 9/11 happened. He left the NFL to enlist in the United States Army. He became a United States Army Ranger, deployed to Afghanistan, and unfortunately he was killed in combat. So it's people who will make great sacrifices for the benefit of those around them. So I'm a 2015 Pat Tillman scholar, and fortunate enough this year they looked across the crowd of Tillman scholars and thought that I deserved the Impact Award because of what I've been doing as the mayor of Shreveport, and I'm grateful for it. It means a great deal to me.
Stop on that last part. You said the mayor of Shreveport. What's your daily routine being the mayor of Shreveport?
It is no routine at all. And everybody asks that question, but man, you can do, some days I'm actually in the office and I'm able to kind of dive into those deep problems. I'm able to go through our capital budget. I'm able to go through our operating budget and, look at the numbers and make sure we're setting ourselves up for success in the future. But some days, man, I don't even go to the office first. I'll go to a school to speak to some students before, I'm even showing up for a staff meeting, or I'll go and do an interview on a news station. And then I'll come into the office maybe 10, 15 minutes, have a couple meetings, and then I'm back out for another speaking engagement or something like this. So some days it can be all outside events, all speaking engagements where I'm in my office all of about a half an hour during a typical work day. And some days I get to actually sit in my office and I'll take a couple meetings, but I'm behind my desk. I'm replying to emails. I'm talking to staff members on the phone. I'm calling people. So no day looks the same. Not at all.
Enough of all the mayor stuff, the business, the proposal, the bond. I just got some questions for the culture. Give me your top 5 dead or alive.
Now that's the hard questions right here, right? Yeah. Top 5 dead or alive, man. I gotta throw this list. By the way, is not numerically ordered. I don't want people coming from my life, but I gotta throw Lil Wayne on the list, man. Gotta throw Lil Wayne on the list. For so many years he was definitely at the top of the food chain, just crushing people. You think about the Carter, 1, 2, 3. He's just at the peak of his game. So Lil Wayne was at the top. Jay-Z, Pac is another one, Andre 3K, and I gotta throw Eminem on the list too. It'd be crazy not to throw him on the list. So that's my top 5 dead or alive.
Like with the Drakes, the Big Seans, or even Kanye West.
Man, I love new age rappers, absolutely, man. But they discography's not complete yet, right? They still going and going. So after Drake started to kind of taper a little bit, I think we'll be able to get a better snapshot of Drake. But I mean, new age rappers who I mess with heavy is Drake. You got J. Cole. You got Big Sean. I mean, there's a whole lot of new talent out there that I'm listening to on repeat as well. I mean, but the ones I named, a lot of them legends, man. You know what I mean? They set the tone and the pace of the game that these newer rappers that I just listed, they benefit from it. So I got to keep them in the top 5 list right now.
So, but Big Sean is big on sneakers, and Jordan is one of his favorite pair. I just want to know, what's your favorite pair of Jordan silhouettes?
Okay. Favorite pair of Jordan silhouettes is the 3s, man. I love them. I got a pair at home right now. And I'd say my second favorite pair would be the 11s, the Pam leather ones. I can still remember like everybody having them at school and me wanting them, but couldn't afford them at the time. So yeah, those are my 2 favorite pair. And I love just any opportunity I get to take the suit off in the mayor's seat, throw on some Jordans and just go out and be me. You know what I mean?
Okay. Everyone who sits in that seat, you can't let them leave without asking this one question: why Shreveport?
It's a great question. Why Shreveport? Man, this is my home. I've traveled the world. I've been over 40 countries. I've been all around the United States, and no place feels as comfortable to me as Shreveport does. My family's here. My friends are here. The people that raised me are here. The village that raised me are here. My educators, you know, the ones that stayed after class to make sure I got the concepts that we were going over in class, you know, made sure I was getting the tutoring that I needed. The deacons at the church that made sure I pulled my pants up, you know what I mean? That church community, that education community, like this is my village, man. I wouldn't be happy anywhere else. So that's why Shreveport, and I'm gonna try to make it the best city in the world.
Thank you for having me, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Good having you today. You had a lot of good questions. The one that got me the most is LeBron over Jordan. That caught me off guard, but
yeah, man. It's true. I'm all about facts and numbers, man. All about facts and numbers.
So that caught me off guard. But everything you brought in today, especially the bond proposal on November 16th, and you want everybody to get out and vote and make sure we show support.
Absolutely.
Thank you again.
For your hourly news and culture, go to. You got me saying go to.
No, for your Shreveport news and culture.
For your Shreveport news. Oh yeah. Got you. All right. For your Shreveport news and culture, log on to hourlynews.com.